He's taking the underhook. I bring my knees up to my chest and I come over and he's getting to this position and he's slow and reacting to drive his weight back in me. So my hand comes to his hip, right? So I post on his hip and I start to pick my hips up, right? And that's what takes him over. There's no weight on my hip. If the guy's a lot bigger and stronger than you and you just try to push his hip to the ground there from an inferior position or from a sideways position, you'll probably lose. But if you just think about blocking his hip, and then since there's nothing on your hips, lifting your hips higher than his hips, then you'll win the fight. He's already past my knees. What we're working on today is he's going to come forward and put a bunch of pressure on me like this, right? He's coming to put pressure on me, take the underhook and smash me into the ground. So back up. What we want to do is as the pressure comes on to us, not yet, we want to pinch our knees together around his hips and elevate him some more and move his hips over. So his body starts to move. We're just adding motion to his own movement. And then as he recovers from that, he's going to start the movement to recover. Otherwise, I'm going to try to get up or try to do something, right? And as he starts movement to recover and shift his weight this way, I'm going to push him over this way. But with my knees are going to pinch together and ride him over. And so all we're doing now is practicing having the top guy initiate the movement to get back to center and smash my back to the ground. And then I'm going to clamp his hip with my knees and bring him into my chest and over and into my chest and over, just back and forth, following his movement, but never letting him settle on me. Look, I want you to be on your side. You should be on your side. I lose the underhook fight. He goes to smash me. My knees come to my chest. I come over. Look, I just put my hand on his hips and I lift my hips higher than his. The main point of, you will get this sometimes in jiu-jitsu. You'll catch people off guard with it. A lot, actually. But as time goes on, they'll get wise to it and they're going to drive their weight back onto you a lot harder than what was happening in the drill earlier. So you'll start to see why they're going to smash you back to the ground and it becomes easier to take your weight to the other side. And we're going to talk about that too right now so you can practice both things. So Bao puts his weight on me. He takes the underhook. I start to come up here. He goes, look, his arm has to balance, okay? If he doesn't post with his elbow or his hand, okay, then nothing's stopping him from going that way. Because I'm going to try to take him that way. But he's going to post. He's going to drive his weight back into me, bringing his hips over my hand. So I take the underhook as I rock to this side. And you should come all the way up to here. He knows that he doesn't want to get his back taken. And one of the first things people are going to do to try to prevent that is put this hip on the ground. So go ahead and put the hip on the ground so they see. He's going to try to go like this and turn into me. Okay, come back up. If they go to put that hip on the ground, all I'm going to do is come over the top of him and put my knee over his hip. So when his hip goes to the ground, he's actually going to lay on top of my knee. Come back up. So I got up. I feel that you're going to move your hip to the ground. And so I go like this. So he comes in to put his weight on me. I roll him over. I take the underhook. And now I come up, right? He doesn't get the overhook, but he starts to put his hip on the ground. Go ahead. Right, now I roll all the way through and get my hook in, and we're attacking the back. We're not going to look too much at the back today, but I want to talk about something very specific. You want to have a deep hook and a shallow hook. We don't really want our feet equal. We want to have one hook really deep and one hook really shallow. What I need to control him is armpit control on the side that's opposite of my deep hook with my leg. So I have opposite leg and shoulders controlled. You can grab the lapel, okay? Or you can grab the hand, but I need opposite arm and leg controlled. I have the underhook, right? I'm here. I start to get up. And look at my knee. Look what happens over here, Kent. As I get up, I'm gonna pull his knee out from under him and drive my hips into his hips, right? I'm not trying to get up and go around him. Like I'm gonna attach my leg to his leg. I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna pull it out, right? I'm gonna start to stretch his knee away from his hips. So I'm driving into him with my hips and I'm pulling his leg away. I lift this out and we're gonna come around to here. This is what we're gonna look at first. I'm gonna grab the collar. This is called a loop choke, clock choke. So I grab this lapel and I bring it's not tight. I bring my hand to the front of the neck and I bring my wrist to the far side. I'm gonna grab his pants, okay? If I can grab here, I would, but I can't, so I'm gonna grab here. And then I'm gonna slide forward and I'm gonna bring my hips over his shoulder and I'm gonna sit down. And I start walking my feet in a circle. When I grab this gi, I'm not tight. I'm here. I want my hand in front of his Adam's apple and I want my forearm, okay, the side of my forearm on the side of his neck. I'm gonna start to come in and I'm gonna grab my own hands together, okay? I'm kind of just grabbing a grip like this. This arm's coming around his neck and this is coming to here. And look, I'm gonna bring my weight to his head, step, step, okay? And then I'm gonna use my shoulder to make his head look at his chest. And we're gonna come here. Now we're gonna look at Kent gets control of my head and shoulders. So he comes in, chest to chest, he gets me flat. Good, he's got an underhook over here. He starts giving me a crossface, and like pinning me onto the ground flat. So at this point, I'm no longer winning the half guard battle, right? Because he's got control of my head and shoulders. He's tilting his body a little bit to get this knee in tight, right? If he doesn't do that, it'll be very easy for you to bring your leg back, okay? He starts to pinch his knee to my body and turn his hips to make it difficult for me to get my leg back. Okay, I'm gonna reach my left arm down his back, just reaching, pushing into his shoulder with my bicep. That'll leave a little pressure of the crossface. My right elbow comes on top of his knee towards my hip. My hand goes to the hip. I bring my foot up his calf. I pinch his legs with my legs just above his knee. And then I use my outside leg to start moving my hips and turning my knee towards the ground. Okay, once my knee gets inside of his knee, then I'm able to bring it through to the inside of his hip. And even if he has a really strong crossface here, it's easy for me to get my arms in here and then use my legs to break the crossface free and step on his calf to keep him trapped here. I have everything I had before. He's got a strong crossface. He's pinching his knee in. I reach down his body with this hand. I get my elbow inside the knee. I bring my foot up behind the knee. I start to shift my hips back. I bring my knee to the ground inside of his knee. Then I put it in the hip. Now I can bring my arm in front. Okay, I'm stepping on him with my legs. I go to extend my body to break the crossface. I'm rolling to the other side. I'm finding his elbow with my left hand. Okay, I'm pinching his wrist with my neck. And my right arm just comes, puts pressure across the top to finish it. Sometimes they will roll over to get out of it and you just follow them. And then you can finish it right here. He's got a tight underhook over here. He's got a tight crossface here. His knee is turning into my hip. So he's turning his body a little bit and he's pinching his knee to my hip. This arm, my left arm reaches down his back. My right hand goes to the hip. My right elbow tries to make it to my hip on top of his leg. I start shifting my hips back while I'm still covering his leg. And I continue to shift my hips until my right knee, my inside leg is pointed. That knee is pointed at the ground. Then I move it inside. I bring my hand around. I frame with my knees to break the grip. But he pulls his arm away because he doesn't want to get arm barred. And so as he's pulling away, it makes it easy for me to sit up. My right shin is keeping tension in his hip as my right hand is going over the shoulder and then my right elbow is rotating to my right hip. My left leg is outside of his leg. I reach over, I grab the tricep. I put my shoulder, I'm not going to my back, I'm going to my side. I'm putting my shoulder on the ground. Look, if he stays on his knee, I just sweep his leg out like I did with his foot earlier and I come up. I'm reaching down the body. My elbow comes in. I start shifting my hips. My knee comes in. Right? I come around. I'm pinching his body with my knees. I break this. He pulls away from me. So I just sit up. I keep my underhook. Look, I'm not across the back. I'm not grabbing the hip. I'm grabbing his shoulder and I'm pulling my elbow to my hip because that pins his shoulder to my body. He tries to move away from me here. Move away from me. Right? You can't do it. I grab the tricep and then I go sideways. So my ear is coming to the ground. We just looked at what happens if he stays on his knee. So he jumps up to his foot to maintain his base. My foot comes to his foot and I just sweep him as I bring my knee over.